All right. Hey everyone, and welcome to Marketing 101. I'm really excited about this class because I think everybody on this class is pretty advanced, and there's just so much magic that can be created when we let go of our points of view about showing up in the world as who we are. And I have a lot of different things that I want to do. But I want to first know what you guys want to get out of this class and what you would like to see happen as a result of this class in your business, in your life, in your world. Anybody?
Well, for me, it would be like get comfortable with social media marketing and marketing my own products and paintings and
Right.
stuff.
Right.
So
Okay, cool. Okay. So I'm going to start by asking you guys, what % are you committed to your business? More than 2% or less than 2%?
Less.
So everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And he does more. Okay. All right. What percentage are you committed? More than 5% or less than 5%? Okay, cool. So Christian went up by a couple percent. Maybe are you at 4? So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your bodies be to be 100% committed to your businesses for all eternity with total ease? And everything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Cool. So, the next question I have for you guys is, what are your points of view about Facebook? Everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
There's a lot of judgment on Facebook.
Right. Exactly. So everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyond. So, okay. So Facebook was designed on Harvard campus. And it was designed by Mark Zuckerberg because he couldn't get girls. And so he created Facebook as a way to find who's who on campus and a way to talk to girls. That's the origin of Facebook.
It's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, he's a smart guy, right? So Facebook is actually it's a college campus thing. For the first few years of Facebook, you had to have a college email address associated with a college around the world in order to even be on Facebook. So it was originally designed as a who's who for college kids. It's obviously gone way beyond that. There's billions of people on Facebook. A portion of the world is on Facebook. But Facebook is, in essence, a gossip column. Facebook is for gossip. It's to know the who's who. It's to know what everybody's doing. And it's sort of like reading a column in a newspaper, but it's just your friends make the news rather than the newsmakers. So when you're on Facebook, you want 30% or less to be about your business and 70% or more to be stuff that is about your personal life. And now I was so angered by Facebook. I was the only kid in my high school who didn't have Facebook. I feel like I got it sort of when high school was ending, or Facebook came out when sort of high school was ending, and I did not have Facebook for about 4 or 5 years. Facebook was out, and it was like this thing. It was like, Julia doesn't have Facebook. God, Julia, you're so weird. Why don't you have Facebook? And I hated it. I was like, why are these people posting pictures of their life? People are going to know where I'm going. People are going to know what I'm doing. I'm not going to be able to like hide. But I realized if I wanted to have ease with creating business the way that I create it, I better get over my Facebook points of view. So I was on one of Corey Michelle Johnson's business classes about 5-6 years ago. And in order to be in her business class, you had to be on Facebook because a big portion of the class was on Facebook. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I created an account and I refused to have any friends on my account because I was in such judgment of Facebook. And my friends from high school are like now are like, what the fuck happened to you? Like, you're all over Facebook. But I cleared all of my points of view. So your business may or may not involve Facebook, but a lot of times there is a lot of judgment and points of view that we have about social media. And maybe you guys like Facebook. Like, it doesn't have to be, not all of you have the hatred of it that I did at the beginning. But if, the more in resistance you are to sharing your personal life on Facebook, the more trouble you'll have creating business. That being said, Gary himself doesn't go on Facebook and post family pictures or post Christmas pictures. So it can be done without Facebook, but he's willing to do that, and he's willing to be or do whatever it takes. So let's start with all of the points of view that you have about being seen on Facebook. Will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And everywhere you have to post the perfect thing, will you destroy and uncreate all that? Times a godzillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And how many people's worlds that are on Facebook do you go through before you'll write a post? More than 100 or less than 100? More than 1,000 or less than 1,000? Or every single friend that you have on Facebook and the rest of the Facebook world. So everywhere you are looking to other people's judgments for what you will create, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Cool. So, and how many of you don't have ease with technology? Do you guys all have ease with technology? I know Anita does. I know Teresa does. Okay, good. We won't work on that then right now.
Can I just quickly clarify? You said 30% of Facebook content is about your business and 70% is personal?
Mm-hmm. If you want people to pay attention to it.
So is that...
And it's a point of view.
Yeah. Does that
but
even...
it's a good guideline.
Is that even like qualify, like if you have a business, like a page for your business? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the same thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It has to be 70% on the business page because, like, people want to see stuff that's interesting. Like, even on a business page, it's like if you went... Facebook is basically a cocktail party. Think of it that way. That's what Megan Hill taught me.
Right.
And so it's like if somebody is at a cocktail party and they're like, I'm doing this class, I'm doing this, here's my business card, this is about my business, this is my business, then it's like nobody wants to listen to you. People are really turned off by you at the cocktail party.
Mm-hmm. So
with a business, you want to show things like behind the scenes. You want to show things like what you are as the business owner doing in your personal life.
So what about posting articles that are related to business? Does that qualify as business or personal?
I would say more personal because it's of interest. But I would say 30% should be classes. And it is a point of view. And when you're really excited about something, it's like it works.
Right.
So it's just a matter of what you're really excited about. But if you're that person on Facebook who's constantly talking about your business. It's like people will just zone you out. And social media is so fast. It's like you have about like 1 second to 3 seconds, even less than that. I would say 1 second or less to catch people's attention, whether they're going to read on and watch more or whether they're going to just keep going and scroll past you. So it's like you got to look at, okay, what is the world asking for? And this isn't actually selling. It's like none of this has to be about selling. So everywhere you made business about selling or Facebook with business about selling, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys and beyonds. You never want to sell somebody something they don't want. But what you want to do is you want to invite people to something that they already wanted to buy. It's or a class that they already wanted to do. It's like you have to be the bioenergetic nurturing of a different reality. And bioenergetic nurturing is when you feed somebody something that's going to nurture them energetically. So Gary does so well. It's like when he sends an email, his emails are 1 line and never more than 10 words. That's his rule for emails. 1 line and never more than 10 words. So Teresa and I have been playing with this lately. We've been sending out emails to my list with just an image and then like a quote on the image. And it's like, I know that if somebody's going to send me a short email, I'm going to open it. But if it's like 2 or 3 paragraphs, I'm just like, ugh, and it's not going to happen. I'm not going to open it. So if I know what's coming and I know that it's going to be something that I can use and that's like automatically going to make my life better than it was before, then that's going to create greater. So it's never about, I mean, we make classes about putting asses in seats, as Gary says. It's not about asses in seats. It's about how do I give people the life that they desire? What can I post on Facebook that's going to give people the life that they desire? But you have to be sneaky about it, because the other thing is, if you want to invite people to Access who don't do Access, you can't use Access speak. You have to promote Access without using Access speak. And this is a really, really interesting dance. And it's been something that I've really had to work on. But it's like Megan Hill. Do you guys know who Megan Hill is? Anybody not know who Megan Hill is? She's the lead social media of Access, and she pretty much runs the whole social media part of the business. And Emily Russell does too. But Megan has taught me pretty much everything I know about social media, and she's really been what has been one of the driving forces behind my business. And her and I were having a conversation, and wait, I forget where I was going with that. Part of it, I want to talk about being the energy pull. I'll just say that right now. You first of all want to ask the ad to be the energy pull. So every picture you put out, you want to go, how can this pull as much energy as possible? Oh, I know what we were talking about. We were talking about how when you're on a telecall with Gary, what you want to do is, or what I do is I take down quotes, brilliant things Gary says. But what a lot of facilitators do is they post quotes on Facebook that the world is not ready to receive. And so a lot of facilitators look crazy because they say things that Gary said to the public that can't be said to somebody who, unless that person paid for the call and was willing to receive that information on the call. So when you're posting quotes on Facebook, you want to post the quotes that are a bioenergetic nurturing to everyone, not quotes that make you look crazy. Because 80% of what Gary says is going to make you look crazy if you post it on Facebook. So it's like what you want to ask for, okay, so what has he said? What's a great quote that is going to nurture people, make their lives better, and that they can receive? And I see so many facilitators shooting themselves in the foot by writing quotes on Facebook that make them sound crazy because it was way too far beyond their reality. But it's not dumbing it down. It's choosing the thing that's going to create the greatest result. Okay? But what we do is we go, oh, I don't want to sound crazy, so I won't post anything. So everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all night, pot and pock, shorts, boys and beyond. Rather than being so present that you find the one line that's going to change all realities. Okay?
Julia, can I ask you a question around promoting yourself? Because I love I usually reach, I get a fair share of shares in Facebook with like stories around like telecalls or whatever is going on. But then when it's about like my foundation or my class, I wonder if it would be easier to like have someone else do it for me, or like, yeah, I just take myself out of the equation with that. And I'm also going to ask you to, I'm going to say, because I'm going to translate myself in Italian, but that was my question.
Okay, good. Go ahead. For a second. Okay. So, number one is ask, if I got somebody else to promote my classes, what would my life be like in 5 years? I promote my own classes. Gary and Dane don't promote theirs. Other people promote my classes too. Teresa Finnegan, who is on this series, also promotes my classes. So you want to ask that question. There's no fixed point of view. It's for every single class. Who could promote this and create the greatest result? Like, some people just have like fireworks with certain classes. Like with Gary and Dane's Charleston class, like I just have fireworks with that class. I'm so excited about it. Like it just so matches the energy of my being that I'm somebody who is really good at promoting that. And there's other classes that other people are amazing at promoting. Like Anita is amazing at promoting Anthony's classes. Like just the words and the verbs that you use and the energy that you be with it creates this really amazing forward moving thing for his sessions and his business. So we all have things that really resonate with us. And so you want to ask, who would actually create the greatest result if they promoted this? And I want to say that result is not getting asses in seats. Result is being the facilitator that creates people's lives as great as they can be. And that's where money comes from. You have to look at business from, what does the world desiring right now? And how can I create what the world desires? It's not about how can I make money. It's about giving the world everything that the world is asking for. Today in the Right Riches, we just finished Right Riches Budapest Day 1. And a lot of the class included the energy of the earth. A lot of what I was talking about was really comparing how we have to be that ever-flowing tap that the earth is always willing to contribute to us. And it has no point of view. And it will gift and gift and gift and gift forever and ever and ever and ever. That's what Gary is for all of us. And that's what you want to be in the world. You want to be the never-ending tap that gifts and gifts and gifts and gifts. Okay? In order to do that, though, you have to be willing to receive. You can't gift and gift and gift if you can't receive. So everywhere you're not willing to receive enough to gift the world what it desires, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine podpocs, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Thanks for translating so quickly, Kiara. I'm talking really fast tonight. Okay, so were there any more questions on that? I forget who even asked the question. Who asked the question? Was it you, Teresa?
No, I think it was Kiara.
Oh, it was Kiara, right. I totally forgot. Okay, so with your foundation classes and stuff. Okay, so oftentimes, like Anthony used to get really disappointed. He'd be like, I posted this picture of our family and it got so many likes, but I posted my foundation class and it only got 15 likes. And I'm like, yeah, me too. But that's the way that it seems to be. It's like something of interest, something that evokes emotion in people is usually just going to get more likes. You having a foundation doesn't like make people's hearts sing. It could, but it's like, that's okay if it doesn't get as many likes. So don't ever make yourself wrong for that. But what you want to do when you're promoting a class is go, okay, so what bioenergetic feeding can I be that will make people take another action here? So if you guys notice my ads, a lot of them have very little information on them. I do that on purpose because I want people to have to go to my website. I don't want to give them the dates necessarily. I don't want to give them the location. I don't want to give them the class description on the graphic. The graphic should have as much space as possible. Like if you look, I think I was talking about this in the pre-class marketing videos. If you look at the Steve Jobs Apple ads, it's like he would take out a full page of paper on a newspaper, and all that would be the Apple symbol on the page. And the rest of it would all be space. And if you look at all of the Apple products, like they're all space. Like there's just so much space. If you look at the lines on an Apple laptop, it's like it's all space. There's as little on it as possible. It's as functional as possible with as little, with as much space as possible. So that's, and that's how you want your advertisements to look. It's like something that is just total space, because within space, people see possibility. If you give them, like, what's an example? Oh, I know what's really hideous. Hold on, this. And we're going to go through this, I think in the second class, we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but look at this. I hate this book. Every time I see it, it makes me angry. It's Arya's math book. I just want it like away because there's so much going on. There's no space on this book. Okay? This book I find really pleasing because there's a lot of space and there's one focal point. And one thing, and this is standard advertising, this isn't Access, but I did get a lot out of this point of view is a confused mind won't buy. So you want to you want to give people everything in your advertisement, but you want to give them everything by giving them space, because within space they find possibility, and with possibility they find everything. But you have to make them seek it out themselves. You can't give it to them. See, this pushes energy, and this pulls energy. Okay? All right.
Can I ask you about the description and the story? Because I usually what I see is that people do usually connect a lot through the stories. Like if you talk about, I don't know, there is this telco called Ask that is coming up soon. And so I was saying, you start to ask, and then maybe there is a doubt that kick in, and that's the voice with whom I speak to my doubts, for example. And so a lot of people could really connect to that. But there is and it's not even a description, it's like a story, it's like a personal story to which people can connect. So there are a lot of words. Like the graphic was very, very short, very few words. I love this space conversation we're having. But then the story, I usually love stories. Like I don't know, I think I know it works in Italy actually. It just and it's not for selling anything. It's just I this is going on in my world, and I find this tool to be useful. You want to know more? There is this telco. You don't want to know more? That's perfect. I mean, I love, but then I'm like, I should put no words to it, or
Yeah, no, that's okay. The graphic is different. If you put your whole story on your graphic, that wouldn't work. But you can tell the story, just make people reach for it. With everything, you want to be the pull that makes people reach for more. Cool. So, and that's the other thing is, if you're going to do a class in Japan, you want to ask the question, how much order would I have to be in order for this class to be successful? Because Japan does order. If you're doing a class in Rome, you want to ask, how much story would I have to be in order for this class to be successful? It's like you want to look at where you are and what's going to create the most there. And that's called being present. Okay? So everywhere you guys have put yourself on autopilot in your business, will you destroy and uncreate all that? Times a godzillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay? So what else do I want to say about that? Okay, so first of all, let's do a couple other things. So will you now destroy and uncreate your business? Times a godzillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Will you destroy and uncreate everything you've decided you know about business? Times a godzillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyond. Cool. Pardon me. So the other thing I want to talk about is, and this is sort of an aside to marketing, it's more about business, but how many of you have committed to being business people? Because it's like, I used to have the point of view that business had nothing to do with me. If you have the point of view that business has nothing to do with you, how much can you receive from your business? Not a lot. So everywhere you've decided that business has nothing to do with you, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Oh my. Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. Everywhere that you've decided you're not a business person because a business person looks like X, Y, and Z, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. Oh, excuse me. So it's like, and everywhere you've decided that you have been wronged in business, you're not smart enough for business. Business is a man's game. Will you destroy and uncreate all of those points of view? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. And everywhere you're not willing to use your body to make money, will you destroy and uncreate all of that? Oh, pardon me. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Sorry, I'm burping. Okay. So, what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be the receiver with, of, and from business you truly be? Oh man, you guys are not willing to receive very much from your businesses. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. So what does receiving from business mean to you? To me, it meant that I had to wear like an ugly business suit and, you know, kind of look like Hillary Clinton or something like that. To me, that was what a businesswoman was.
And you have to be boring.
Yeah, you have to be boring. You have to be manly. So all of those things, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Pardon me, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay, next thing. This is for those of you who are access facilitators, and I know League is on this for really her art business. So for Liga, when I ask these questions, just ask instead, how many people am I willing to have buy my art? Okay, but I'm going to do this for classes. Okay, so what's the most amount of people you guys have had in an access class? And we're going to do online access classes separately from live access classes. So what's the most amount of people you've ever had in a live access class? Oh boy. This is like a plague among CFs and BFs. All those decisions about how many people you can have in your class. So, how many people are you willing to have in a bars class? Everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. For those of you who are CFs, how many people are you willing to have in a foundation class? Everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Oh, this is like, oh my freaking God. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. So how many people are you willing to have in a bars class? Everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many people are you willing to have in a foundation class? Everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many people are you willing to have on a telecall? And oddly, even if you guys aren't facilitating these things, it's still bringing up a lot of energy. So everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many people are you willing to have in a specialty class? Everything that is times a godzillion. Will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pot, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many people are you willing to have in a taster? Oh, everything that is times a godzillion. Can we destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pot, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many clients are you willing to have? Everything that is times a godzillion. Will you destroy and uncreate it all?
I have a question about that. After you.
Hold on. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine pod, pock, shorts, boys, and youngs. Go ahead.
So I'm looking at this from like our doula business.
Yeah.
We can't really just have an unlimited amount of clients each month because being at that many births would be physically impossible. So we like have a cap of like 4 to 6 women a month. So I guess the clearings would work the same way.
No. So you're looking at one perspective. It's like, who else can you hire underneath you?
Okay.
How many staff members can you have?
How big? Okay. How many
doula videos, how many doula tips and videos can you sell? How many birthing videos can you sell? It's like, that's a huge, huge market. People will pay a lot of money for birthing stuff. So everywhere you bought that they wouldn't, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes, please.
Times a godzillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Cool. And how many of you are not willing to make videos and post them on Facebook? Let's open this can of worms. So everything this brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyond. So
you made me blush.
It's like yeah. So it's like,
I just don't know.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just don't know. I just don't know what to post sometimes. Sometimes it's just, I don't really know. I don't know. I mean, I have lots of skills. I'm a physical therapist. I do a lot of energetic work. I'm doing bars. But it's sort of like, it's like a bunch of stuff. And
right.
I don't know where to start sometimes. It's
what if you just started with, just start with one thing. Pick something. That's it. It's just choice.
Okay.
If you get paralyzed by too many choices, you'll never choose. Just choose something. Say, okay, I'm going to make a 3-part series. I'm going to make a 3-part video series on the bars. And once a week for 3 weeks, I'm going to post my little how-to on the bars. This is where this bar is run. You could put one little bar on Facebook. I'm sure that would be fine. You could go, this is a miracle story from bars, week 2. You could go, this is how I use my bars for insomnia, week number 3. You know, whatever it is. But the thing is, we're so wanting to get it right that we would rather just not choose anything rather than not do the perfect thing. So, might be a couple perfectionists on this call.
Maybe.
So,
yeah, I would like to add to that because I have a lot of videos on my camera. A lot of videos. I just don't post them.
Right. Okay. So everything this is, can we destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay, so let's run the judgment process. So what is your judgment of posting videos? Everything that is times the godzillion. Will you destroy it and create it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. what's your judgment of you with regards to posting videos? Everything
They're
that is
not good
times a
enough.
gazillion. Will you destroy it and create it all? Yeah. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyond. What's your judgment of sex with posting videos? Everything that is times a gazillion. Will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pot, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And what's your judgment of you with regards to sex with posting videos? Everything that is times a gazillion. Will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. A really great way for you, Liga, to let people know you're an artist is to post how-to videos about how you make your art. You can make a 7-part series of videos on how to be an artist. And make a cool background and get out your iPhone and get a little tripod and make a series. Okay? So, and it's like, the other thing is, what do you guys actually have to say that the world is willing to receive right now? Because oftentimes we do want to say more than the world can receive. Or we'll do the flip side, we'll dumb it down, and that's boring too. So what is that thing that you can say that the world can receive, but is still big enough for you? Everywhere you're not willing to perceive, will be and receive that, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay, so now we can come back to videos, but I want to flip to something else. What do you guys have as judgments of your prices?
The people won't want to pay me that I live in a small town and no one wants to pay me that.
Right.
Which is, at least if I was doing it in a small town. If I was more, global, then it would be a different story, something like that. That's my judge. Okay. That's a judgment that goes through my head, and I say, who does this belong to, and just that.
Right. Okay, so everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Yes. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. I have this friend. She's a CF, and she has the most booming foundation and bars business, like one of the most booming I have ever seen, and she lives in a very small town. Because her point of view is, how lucky am I that there's word of mouth in a small town? So everywhere you're not willing to use word of mouth to your advantage, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. You know what I mean? It's like you're looking at your liabilities. I'm going to keep burping. This is like a burp-a-thon. Oh my gosh. So, oh my goodness. So everywhere you're looking at your liabilities rather than your assets, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes. Yeah.
Excuse me. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So it's like, what is actually an asset that you've turned into a liability? What are 3 things, Irene, from a small town that are assets that you've turned into liabilities?
That people will talk about me. They'll say, in a bad way. If I make one, then the shit's gonna go down, kind of thing. Or and then the word will go through, and then people will try to squash me, and then they'll be like, she's a bitch, and the usual stuff. And I'll be like, well,
Right.
I'm going to be the demon bitch from hell if I choose it. And if you want to be around me, then great. But my fear, the fear that is not me, says, well, you're not going to make any money if you don't become nice.
Right. Right. Which is not the, yeah. So, okay. So another thing that, most of us get but don't actually function as is that bad press is still press. And bad press makes you just as much money.
Oh.
So everywhere you're not willing, so people trash talking you, which probably won't happen, but even if it did, people trash talking you is going to create more for you in your life. Because it's energy.
Okay.
It's still energy that people are feeding you. I'm sure you've heard me tell the story about how that I was in Superstore and the guy was judging me from behind me, and I could feel his judgment coming at me, and I didn't have a point of view about it, and then I let it go right through me, and I could perceive how it was creating my future as greater.
Yeah, with the bubble
So
gum?
it's
Is
like,
that the bubble gum? Yeah.
mm-hmm, that's the bubblegum story. Yeah. So it's like you've got to be willing to be vilified. Like, have you guys seen the article that they put out in Australia about Simone recently?
No.
So I'll find it for you guys, and I'll ask Teresa to send it out in the upcoming email. So basically, or even just Google Simone, if you want to look at it right now, you can Google Simone Milasas. I'll Google it here. Here, I can screen share with you guys and just show it to you because I want to actually show it to you. Here. Okay, so. Where was it? Oh yeah, BuzzFeed. Okay, look at this. Okay, everybody is totally baffled by this woman's financial advice. Simone is the founder of a company called Joy of Business and the author of the book of the same name. And there's Simone. Australian women's website Mamma Mia published an excerpt from from Milasas' new book, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, over the weekend, and it has caused something of an uproar online. In her book, Milasas describes how she traveled the world and found herself $187,000 of debt, but with a few tools, which she then shares, she was debt-free within 2 years. The first tip seems pretty straightforward. Put away 10% of everything you earn. But that money is not for when you run out of money or you have to pay bills, Milasas stresses. Then look at the Twitter followers she got, the Instagram page, everything, the followers went up like crazy after this. This article had me making the face of that little girl in the GIF with her mouth open and her palm out, looking around for answers. My partner sitting next to me screaming at the article, why the fuck wouldn't you pay your bills? If you pay your bills first, you will always have more bills, she writes. When you pay the bills first, the universe says, oh, okay, this person wishes to honor their bills. Let's give them more bills. With a 10% savings account, the universe, according to Milasas, gives you more money because you're willing to have more. Whoops. When you pay your bills, the universe sends you more bills because it thinks you like paying bills. Mamma Mia published this actual advice. So they're like just ripping her apart. This part is funny. The next tip Milasas offers is that you should carry around the amount of cash you think a rich person would carry. I like to have at least $1,000 on me at all times. I like to have a bottle of water with me at all times. I like to have a cold bottle of wine in the fridge at home. Milasas acknowledges that carrying a wad of cash could be a security risk, describing a situation in which her friend was mugged carrying $1,800, but said, while it wasn't nice, her friend was much more willing to be aware of her money after the robbery. So that excerpt on Mamma Mia about getting out of debt has to be satire. I refuse to accept it as real. So anyways, this is a really, really, really widespread thing. And people are like writing like, this woman has no credentials, she's giving faulty advice, this is completely insane, like she has no financial training. She got ripped into worldwide. And she said at first she cried, and then she got facilitated, and then she realized that this is creating in a far greater way. And Gary always says that when you write a book is not to make money. A book is to give you credibility in this reality. But Gary's like, I think Simone might make actually a good amount of money from this book after being ripped into like that. But in marketing, I mean, like, people are like 70% more likely to buy an item even if they're hearing the item being ripped into, because humanoids get curious. So how much energy are you guys using to defend access, to defend your art, to defend your business? Will you destroy and uncreate all of that times a godzillion? Yeah. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 podpoc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So I've been asking, because I saw this and we were talking about it in the class and Simone was talking about it. And I was like, shit, I'm not willing to be that vilified. And it's like, so I've been asking, what's it going to take for me to be willing to be that vilified? It doesn't necessarily mean I'll get that vilified, but if I have the willingness, I can receive and receive and receive. So everywhere you're not willing to be that vilified, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 podpoc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Because you are going to be vilified. People are going to say, ugh, her art is ugly and it's too expensive. People are going to say, ugh, $1,400 for her foundation class? Who does she think she is? I'm not paying that much for a doula service. People are mean. People are very judgmental. And people want you to be less so that they can feel better about the less that they're creating. So everywhere you're not willing to be the receiver of hatred, of judgment, of unkindness, will you destroy and uncreate all that? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 podpoc, shorts, boys, and beyond. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be as vilified as you would truly like to be for all eternity? Because it actually can be really fun if you have no point of view about what's coming at you. Everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, good, bad, all 9 podpoc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Cool. It sounded like somebody unmuted themselves. Irene, go ahead.
That was me. Oh, no. I got kicked off and now I'm on again. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So also, what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be as dislikable as you would truly like to be for eternities? And everything that doesn't allow that times a godzilla, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, all 9 podpoc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Cool. So let's go back to the video conversation for a little bit. So have you guys ever watched videos where people weren't willing to be them and it was like kind of So everywhere you bought that your video would turn out like that, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 podpoc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. If you have an ounce of vulnerability, your video is going to turn out to be greater than 99% of the videos out there. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be all of you on video for all eternity with total ease?
Can you repeat that whole thing?
Yes, right, wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod, poc, shorts, boys, beyonds. So being vulnerable, do you want just the clearing or what I said before it?
If you have an ounce of
vulnerability in video, your video is going to turn out to be better than 99% of the videos out there.
I heard if I had an ounce of personality. Okay, vulnerability is good. I can do that.
Everything that brought up, can we destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to create a reality totally beyond this reality for all eternity with total ease? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So put your iPhone up to you like this. I'm serious. If you have your iPhone around you, put it up to you. Put on the video setting. Oh, there's Anthony on the bed. And put it up to your face. Everything that brings up times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. It's like, even just bringing up the phone often brings up so many judgments and points of view. We put the phone back down. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be the total vulnerability you truly be for all eternity with total ease? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. And what often happens is, it's like our family's on Facebook, our friends are on Facebook. It's like not just access people are going to see our videos, or not just people who are interested in doula or art are going to see the videos that we put up. So everywhere you're not willing to post on Facebook because your family's going to see it, and you're pre-deciding what their judgments will be, and then not posting because of what you've decided their judgments will be, will you destroy and uncreate all of that times a godzillion? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Cool. So Anita, did you have more on video?
Sorry, what did you ask?
I was just asking if you had more things on video, because you brought up a good point earlier.
Yeah, I have a lot of things on video.
Okay, like a lot. Like, do you have any more questions? I was just really intrigued by your question. I wanted to know if you had any other ones.
Yeah, because it's always of judgment that I tape it, and then I look at it and I'm like, I'm not gonna do this because this one is not, So yeah, what's that in me? That's my question, probably.
Well, one thing is, Dane doesn't even watch his own videos. I mean, I watched some of the energy pulls and I'm like, oh my God, who would buy that? It's like, what if you didn't watch it? What if you just posted it?
Well, it has to be perfect, right?
Yes, I know. Isn't that the issue? So everywhere it has to be perfect, because you're never going to make a perfect selfie video. If you ask Dane, he probably never thought one of his tour of consciousnesses was perfect. He was just not stupid enough to watch it. He just posted it.
And so does Dane not watch it, and then he gives it to his video editor to, here, do something with this, and then post it?
So just stop watching them, Anita.
Yeah, but who's going to edit my pictures then? My videos?
Send them to Teresa. She edits mine. She's great.
Yeah.
Or I don't even edit a lot of mine. I just take the video and automatically post it on Facebook.
Yeah, but I don't know what to write with it. I don't even know what my message is. A lot of times.
Okay. So okay. So let me ask you this. What do you want to say to the world? What do you know? Tell me 2 things that you know.
That's a lot. What do I know? I don't know what I know.
You know a lot. You know things about precision and clarity that people don't know.
You see, I don't get that. I don't know what you're saying.
Right. Oh my gosh. I'm in shock. I can't believe you don't know that.
I'm just
oh my
doing
gosh.
things. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's just you being you. Okay. So let me tell you guys a story. So I was at the Right Riches Facilitators a couple months ago. Wait, let me write this down. I want to remember this other thing. Okay. So I was at Right Riches, and when they were talking, Gary and Dane were facilitating and talking about different ways to make money beyond this reality. And I was like, okay, so it's very obvious to me that the ways of making money beyond this reality are facilitating, like for me, are facilitating, investing in different things, and using my money to change other people's realities. And Gary stopped me and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And he's like, those things are obvious to you. He's like, those things are not obvious to anybody else. And I thought that those things were boring and had no value because they were so obvious to me. So you guys want to ask the question, what's obvious to you that is not obvious to anybody else? Because if it's ease for you, chances are it's not ease for anybody else. Okay? So you want to ask, what's obvious for me that could make me more money than I would know how to handle? And you want to ask for more money than you know how to handle. I mean, your level of detail, Anita, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I don't know how you catch the things that you catch.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You could do a whole video series on being present and paying attention to detail. Recently, Gary yelled at a class and he said that you are destroying your business by not paying attention to what people are saying. You're destroying your business by not paying attention to details. And you will defend that you shouldn't have to pay attention to details. And you don't do that. You pay attention.
Yeah.
That is 1 out of a billion.
Well, that's cool. It's also
Yeah.
but it's also the one thing that's, for me, I pay attention. I see everything, or I don't
Everything.
know, I'm aware or whatever. I don't know everything, but also like on Facebook, everything. Once I open the screen, everything comes to, and that's a lot.
Can you guys hear me just as good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. I just wanted Anthony to be able to hear the other part. He's laying on the bed. Okay, sorry. Can you say the last part?
Yeah. So everything comes to me. So it's like when I open Facebook, like, because I see and hear, and I don't know, I just know a lot. It just bam comes into well, yeah, me.
Right. So you're trying to stop the awareness rather than intensify it and use it to your advantage.
A lot of times, yeah.
Yeah. So you just want to go, okay, so how can I use this level of awareness and detail to make me more money than I know how to handle? And when that washes up on you, and when you open up Facebook, go, whoa, that's a lot. And how does it get better than this?
Yeah.
I know it's a lot, but it's a gift that you're using to hurt yourself rather than create your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for everybody else, what details are you avoiding so that you can avoid the money that the details bring? And everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod poc shorts, boys and beyonds. Like, I grew up in a small town, and I was visiting last week, and I was at my friend's house and my parents' house and a few different people's houses visiting. And I noticed how nothing was detailed. It was like everything was sort of just slapped together. It's like if things were kind of functional and that's it, they're functional. That's great. That's all you need. There's no detail. There's no precision. There's no like kindness to the objects. It's like just as long as, you know, the fridge is in the right place, it doesn't matter if the fridge is clean. It doesn't matter what magnets are on the fridge. It doesn't matter what pictures are on the fridge. If you have it in the house, just slap it up. Nobody goes, okay, so how would this fridge look most beautiful with what pictures on it? Hi, Amron. Nobody goes, oh, where would this couch like to be placed? Everybody just throws it where they throw it and are just grateful that they have a couch. They don't care. Hey, buddy. They don't care about creating things in the most beautiful way possible. And that's been my point of view about a lot of things. I mean, Anthony and me, like the messiness that Anthony has had to deal with me is like ridiculous, and it's really changed a lot because I ran forever. What energy, space, and consciousness can my body and I be to be the insane slob I truly be for all eternity with total ease? And I got really clean really fast. And everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod poc shorts, boys and beyond. You have to honor your objects, and you, with everything in your life, you have to ask, how can I place this in a way that is the most pleasing to me and to the objects themselves? Because the objects themselves have a point of view. That's what makes a great artist, is their level of presence with the objects and listening to the objects and mixing that with what's pleasing to them. So everywhere you guys are not willing to be the artist of your own life, just the complainer of your own life, will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod and poc shorts, boys and beyonds. I wish Gary would do a whole telecall series on details. Because the details are where so much of life begins. But we're trying to get to life by thinking that going faster to the future is going to happen by forgetting the details. But you'll get the life you desire by having all the awareness that lives in the details. And that awareness will allow you to move faster. Everything that is right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 pod poc shorts, boys and beyonds. So what if you could be detailed, Anita, but you didn't have to be perfect?
Yeah, I know I don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect, not at all.
Yeah, but you're still trying to be. You know better.
No, I'm trying to come across perfect on videos.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, but
I know I'm not perfect.
Like, yes, but it's like vulnerable is so much more changing for the world than perfect.
yeah, but that's all. That's that. Yeah, that's the part that is that weird that I'm saying that. That's like the part that I want to be perfect to come across. Well, maybe not even as
Right.
perfect.
Right. You're trying to be perfectly vulnerable.
Yeah. Well, not really though, but because my stories go everywhere, so I want people to that they can follow me. That's what I mean. I want them to be able to follow me, and that has to be perfect, not my story or.
Right.
Oh God, I want the details to be perfect. That's it.
Yes. Yes. And details are one of the most brilliant things about you, but it's like, don't use them against yourself. Don't use them as a way to shut yourself down. Go out. So for you, would you be willing to be undetailed? Because we have to be willing to be all things if we're going to create everything we desire. So would you be willing to be like the women from my town? Would you be willing to just let things go out? Everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all night, pod, park, shorts, boys and girls. Gary says that authors are people who were smart enough to stop writing. Because you could keep writing and perfecting and detailing a book for the rest of your life. The only people who get a book published are the ones who are willing to stop writing and actually hand it over before it's done. An artist's work is never complete, they say. And it's like, so, but complete for you, hold on, I gotta plug this computer. Hey, Anth. Oh, he's full on in bed. I'm not gonna get a charger out of him. My charge cord's in the bathroom, or no, it's right beside you. So it's like, what can you guys put out into the world that is so obvious to you, is of no value, that would be the most valuable thing that other people could ever ask for? Everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pot and pock, shorts, boys and beyonds. And how many of you are hiding? Everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, pock, shorts, boys and beyonds. Cool. Better, worse, or the same, Anita?
Better.
Okay, cool. So, what energy, space, and consciousness? Yeah, just 1 second. What energy, space, and consciousness can you be to be the leader of a different reality for all eternity with total ease? And everything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, pock, shorts, boys and beyonds. Go ahead, Liga.
You said earlier about one of the questions about Japan, and like there is lots of order in there, and suddenly I had this awareness that artists in Latvia are very judgmental. They judge each other and they think there are too many of them. And I was thinking, would the question, how much judgment do I have to be the most successful artist in Latvia for all eternity? Would that be?
So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be the greatest artist in the universe for all eternity with total ease? And everything that doesn't allow that, times a godzillion, will you destroy and create it all. Right and wrong, sorry guys, right and wrong, good and bad, all 9, pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Hold on, I'm at 1%. I'm literally gonna die if I don't plug this in. Sorry. See, I could use some of Anita's details. I don't even know where to plug this thing in. The things in here are crazy. Here we go. I'll just change my background to this yellow. All right. Okay. So it's like, what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be? To be so present with the lines of a different reality that you inspired people to become greater just by viewing your artwork.
That's great.
And everything that doesn't allow that, times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9, pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay? So what do you know is possible that only you can give the world through your artwork? And everything that doesn't allow that, times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9, pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds.
This is a crazy one. Whew.
Okay? So what else? It's like, what? Vincent, can you please stop talking in the middle of my telecall? So, what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to gift the world everything you know is possible through your artwork? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9, pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyond. Better, worse, or the same?
Oh my god. I think it's gone off the roof. Thank you, Julia.
You're welcome.
Can't even talk.
Cool. And you also wrote here, Prosperity Consciousness book has great questions on how to receive the greatness of you. Have been using them for a week and it's amazing. That is a great book. That is a really great book, Prosperity Consciousness. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we have a couple minutes left. Another thing I want to talk about with videos, just a practical tool about posting videos. Google owns YouTube. And Google and Facebook are rivals. And they're competing to have more users. Did I cut out there? I'm not sure.
A little bit.
Just a bit? Okay. If you post a video, if you post a YouTube link into Facebook, Facebook is going to do everything it can to destroy that YouTube link. So that's why oftentimes if you post a YouTube link, it gets very little views, very little likes, very little shares. Facebook is trying to make it so that people post their videos straight through Facebook. So just realize, like, and do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, you literally go like photo, video, and upload the photo or video straight to Facebook rather than sharing a YouTube link on Facebook. Does that make sense? Okay, I just wanted to give that information because people often don't realize this, and then they're posting YouTube links all over Facebook, and they get far, because the way that a post gets views is based on likes and shares and views. So and comments, how many people comment. And one share is as powerful as 1,000 likes. So what you want to do is, if you're going to go live on Facebook, tell 10 friends to be on live and to share that. Because if that live gets, like, say 3 or 5 or 10 shares, it's going to be distributed way, way, way more than a video that just gets likes. And the more comments on a YouTube post or a video, the more far it will be distributed. Because Facebook tries to find the hot topics and spread them the most. So the things that are shared the most, it's what makes things go viral. The things that are shared the most get shared even more, because Facebook shares them even more. The algorithms, the way that Facebook is designed, the more comments, the more that video will show up at the top of people's feeds. A news feed is based on what shows up at the top of your news feed is based on how popular it is, based on likes, shares, and comments and views. So you want to know how to use that to your advantage. Ask people to share your stuff. Don't use a YouTube link. Post the video straight up onto Facebook. I'll even post my 1-hour hangouts straight onto Facebook rather than putting the YouTube link, because the YouTube link will get nowhere. So remember, a comment is worth about 100 likes and a share is worth about 1,000 likes. So, and even if somebody comments on your video or your post and you comment back, that counts as another comment. So it's good to answer people's stuff back. Okay? So that's just tips and tools. And as for how much to post when you're excited about it. Post when it's fun for you. Okay? All right. Does anybody have any questions before we call her a night? No? And if you guys are into some reading, that book Contagious that I just showed you, the one with the orange cover, that's a really, really good book on advertising. It's not an access book, but he talks about what makes people, buy, the book is about what makes things go viral. It's what are the elements of a message that goes viral. And there's different triggers and emotions and all those different kinds of things. So if you are really excited about this topic, you can order that book on Amazon. I forget the author. Jonah Berger. We'll put it in the follow-up email. I'm not going to put the Simone thing in there anymore because we already looked at it. Here, I'll write it in here. Jonah Berger. I believe that's how it's spelled. But we'll get you the exact information. It's a light read, it's a fast read, and it's really, really informative. And I'm just a nerd for this kind of thing, so I'm really enjoying that book. And then next month we will talk about how to actually create the aesthetics of advertising and how to have space. We're going to talk about lines in advertising and just the way that things flow and move that create them as a possibility that makes people go into question when they see them. And we'll also talk about how Gary names his classes and does his class descriptions. So lots of cool stuff coming up too. So I hope today was helpful to you guys. We got a lot of clearing and a lot of really unconscious areas, so that was good. So what else is possible with all of this? And really, it's not about how do I make money with this business. Well, it is. It's how do I make money with this business, but it's and How do I give the world what the world desires? Because if you have that as your point of view, then it's like the universe supports you. The fairies support you. The earth supports you. You know, the divas, the elves, the tree spirits. If you have the point of view of, I want to make the world greater, and I want to have fun, and I want to laugh, and I want to give that to other people as a possibility, money will come pouring in. Okay? Okay, we have some fried potatoes.
Abbiamo delle patatine fritte. Julia, can I ask you if you do have a list of, like, I don't know, top 2, 3 favorite business or marketing books that you really enjoy? I'm a nerd too, so if other than Conscious, there are Contagious, there are other one that you would recommend, and you can put them in the follow-up mail.
Another one, oh, here, it's right beside me. It's right here. It's called The Peter Principle. And it's called, subtitled, Why Things Always Go Wrong. And it's by, who is it by? Oh, it's by Lawrence J. Peter and Raymond Hull. So it's the guy's last name, The Peter Principle. And it's about why people are so ineffective in businesses. It's fabulous. Gary sent it to all of the Access staff. So it's a great book. There's universes in there. So I would start with those two, Contagious and The Peter Principle. And as far as Access books, I mean, I can't think of a book offhand right now, but the thing that really changed business for me, and I mean like really, is Gary's telecall 12 Steps to Creating a Business That Works that he did in 2012. And it's 7 calls for $485, which is nowadays cheap for Gary. That's what he, charged like 5 years ago. And that's a 7-part series. And I listened to each of those calls 7 times, like literally like 49 times. And I counted like 7 calls times 7. And I didn't do it while I was sleeping. I did it sitting up. But those calls made me so sleepy and so tired. And I don't think at that time I really heard them, even after listening to like 47 hour-and-a-half calls. And then I pulled out that series recently, and I'm like, oh my God, I can hear this for the first time. But I had so much unconsciousness in business. And I wasn't even that unconscious in business. I don't even know how people expect to have a business without doing that call and going through those particular clearings. It's just an amazing call. There's nothing like it. Even his new call, It's Business Time, is amazing. But for me, it doesn't create what that first one. I mean, this is great, and it's actually greater in other ways. But that first one to me, man, is the nuts and bolts and the bones of business. That's the greatest, to me, I think that's the greatest call at Access. It's amazing.
What was the name of that call?
12 Steps to Creating a Business That Works. And it's in the Access shop. Here, I'll make Teresa's list for what goes in the email. 12 Steps to Creating a Business. So she'll send you that link. And then the Peter Principle by Lawrence J. Peter and Raymond Hull. And the Peter Principle was actually written in the 70s. And then Contagious by Jonah Berger. I think that's everything we mentioned. So those 3 things are some of the greatest resources on business that I've come across. that 12 steps, man, there's just nothing like it. It is sickening, the level of unconsciousness, especially where he talks about how, whatchamacallit, knowing everything you spend and knowing exactly how much it costs you to run your business. And so he talks about stuff in that. But even if you don't buy the series, you've got to know exactly how much it costs you to run your business. And you've got to have a 10% for your business as well. Okay. All right. So I want to give you guys homework. I kind of want this to be a homework-based series. So your homework is to make 3 videos about your business and actually post them on Facebook. But make them ask, how can I make this video as a bioenergetic feeding? How can I bioenergetically feed people with this video? Like Dane's tour of consciousness is a bioenergetic feeding. He's giving people things. He's giving people things that that makes their life better. Christiane doesn't have a business, ... yet. Well, make videos on access tools then. Uh-oh, she didn't like that answer. Okay. And don't worry, you don't fail if you don't post them. But it's like, this is a little bit of a boot camp. And it's like, if you want to be seen in the world, you're going to have to start practicing. Because if you're going to get where you want to go, for all of you, you got to keep going. And you got to keep making yourself uncomfortable and doing things that are beyond your comfort zone. Because that's the only way to expand reality. So everything that the homework brought up for you guys, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 podpoc shorts, boys and beyonds. All the beyonds creating the eternally beyond, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 podpoc shorts. I don't care. Do it or don't do it. It's really okay. If you're not ready for that, don't do it. Don't do it because I said so and you think I'm going to judge you if you don't. You know, at least make the videos if you're not going to post them and clear all the points of view that come up. And then the other thing you want to run is, what energy, space, and consciousness can my body and I be the bioenergetic feeding of a different reality with this business for all eternity with total ease? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9 podpoc shorts, boys and beyonds. And so that clearing you will get in the PDF. Allison Rosler is making the PDFs for this class. And I will record the verbal clearing loops of the clearing statements for you guys within the next week. Okay? Alrighty. Ta-ta for now. Have a really good month, and it's about 3 weeks now because we had to postpone starting this thing twice because my plane was delayed two weeks in a row. So keep playing with it, and we will see you guys in 3 weeks.
Thank you very much, Julie.
Bye. Thank you.